two daughters. One is in 12th class, another one is in 3rd class. So 12th class, she's elder one, so we started with her, and probably we want her to fulfill our ambitions mostly. So sometimes we are kind of behind her. The little one we have left her. I mean, we have like, do whatever you have to do, just don't trouble us much. So she is always playing and all that, and she's coming up really well in the 12th one. So what to do? I mean, sometimes you feel that it's our responsibility to tell her that, your life is there and you have to work hard and all that. But in that moment, the emotions takes over, and we say something which, as you rightly pointed out, we should not have said, and we say those words, and which we repent later. But what to do? I mean, this is kind of. We feel it's our responsibility to let her know that this is the.
You see, first of all, it has to be seen that the parents and the daughter are together in this situation. It is not the daughter alone who is facing a particular situation. It is the parents and the daughter together. Together in the sense that if the parents let her be totally free, or even abandon her, the situation would not remain the same for her. If she feels a pressure of examinations or future, it is because the parents are there and are contributing to it. So just as she must clear an exam, the parents too have to clear an exam. It is as much of a challenge for the parents as it is for the daughter. What does that imply? That implies that parents must firstly stop seeing themselves as guides. All three of them, the father, the mother and the daughter, have to look at each other as co-travelers in a journey, a movement in which nobody really is in a position to lead the other two. But yes, all three are in a position to hold hands. Nobody can walk in front of the other two, but all three can walk holding hands in togetherness. Your daughter doesn't do well in the exams. Who gets disappointed? The daughter as well as the parents, right? So, it's tough for everybody. When you say that the daughter did not study, you mean she made a mistake. And just now, as you said, when you know that you said something that was inappropriate or harsh to the daughter, you too know that you made a mistake. So all are trying, struggling, and faltering at times. Right? It's not the kid alone that is struggling. The parents too are struggling. When it is seen, then it is possible to be more generous, more loving, more compassionate. And then it is also possible to be more forgiving and more accommodative of failures. When you take yourself as a guide, that the entire onus of success falls upon the guided one. I am the guide. I am the coach. Upon you lies the responsibility to play. You did not play well. Your fault. You were coached so properly, so immaculately, and yet you failed. So the entire responsibility of the failure lies on you. But when you see that it is a team game, that all three of you are in it together, then if failure is there, then the failure belongs to all three. And then all three can bond more closely with each other. All three then are one in success and also one in defeat. And then you do not unnecessarily burden the other with your expectations. Because if you are expecting something from one person in the team, then that expectation belongs to all three. If you are saying that you must get 95% marks, then indirectly you have said, now it is also my responsibility to ensure that you get 95% marks. She doesn't get 95%, who has failed? All three. So now you will not even try to burden her with 95%, because you very well know that you do not really have it in you to produce 95%. If I could not do it, and if in this situation I know that it is humanly impossible to put in the effort to get there, then why must I expect it from my daughter? Had you been just telling her to run from here till there in 10 seconds, then you would have reserved the right to get angry. But when you say, you know what, you and me both together are going to run from here till there in 10 seconds, and then if both of you cannot reach there, will you still get angry? You won't have the face to get angry then. She will say, Papa, we both were in it. It's not me alone that has failed. Had we succeeded, it would have been our joint success. Now that we have failed, it is our common failure. Then, whether you set targets or expectations, they will be far more realistic. Because now you are not setting a target for her, you are setting a target for yourself as well. And now you must know what is humanly possible, what is humanly probable, and what is even humanly desirable. Would you have wanted it for yourself to be pushed to become an engineer in spite of your indifference towards technology? Would you have wanted that? Then why do you want to push your girl to do that? When you are in it with her, then you feel all her pain. When you are outside the arena just as a coach or a guide or as a spectator, then you do not feel the pain of the player. Be in the arena, be with her, come close to her, see what she goes through. See whether she really wants to do all that which you expect from her. See whether her personality, her conditioning allows for the kind of direction that you want her to take. You were young once, not too long back, right? You still are. I don't mean to be offensive. And you wanted to paint, and you wanted to run, and you wanted to climb a tree. You wanted to sing. Maybe you wanted to solve a mathematical problem. But you did have your individual wants, didn't you? Now what about the girl? Is she devoid of individuality? Is there nothing that arises from within her? Yes? Who will figure that out? Not the demanding parent. The demanding parent will never be in a position to learn the stuff that the kid is made of. For the demanding parent, the demand comes even before parenting, because he is the demanding parent. The demands come before the parent. So all that you can see is your own demands. What do I want from her? Is that not very self-centered of you? What else is selfishness? So stop acting as if it is about her life. First of all, acknowledge that it is about our life. Beta, it is about you, me, your mother, your sister or your brother, and about all those that are related to us. It's a joint thing. It's a thing of communion. Yes? Then you will not unnecessarily bother one particular child. Yes? Now it's a thing of the family. Alright?
The problem is that, like as you said, that it's our responsibility to coach, and we are in this together. So what has transpired over a period of time is like I've left my job to coach her over this journey. So she was doing IIT, and then she decided she won't do it, and we said, okay, she's a masterful painter, she paints very well. She said, I will go into design. So now she is pursuing design career. But when I'm teaching her for design, and of course I feel I have little knowledge in that because I'm an engineer. So, but then when I see that, hey, you should draw this like this, you should look at this perspective, you should read like this, and when she doesn't do that thing, when she does her own thing, so that's where sometimes the disappointment creeps in. Hey, you could have done better. I know you can do it, but somehow you are missing the point, and that's where that way it comes. So that's and that leads to sometimes leads to irritation.
You see, it's a.
And when you're into it full time, because so then it becomes more of a problem.
You want return for your investment.
My wife said,
I'm in it full time. I'm in it full time.
Right.
I better get results.
Yeah. So my wife said, you do something. You do something. You don't teach and now you do something else. So that's a problem.
You see, no kid should be burdened with earning a livelihood.
That's true.
It's a tragedy of our civilization that every kid must earn. But I really do not know why. Why must that happen?
Yeah.
Why must it be an inalienable part of living that you must earn a salary every month or every year, whatever? A few weeks back, there was this kid. Where is Pritam? And he asked me this question at Maharshi Raman Kendra Lodi Road. He said, सर मैं पैसे कमा लूँगा ना. There was nothing spectacular about the question or loud, but it just pierced me. Why should a young man have to bother about this? Why? Why do we live in this way? Don't give me answers based on economics and all that. I know most of them. But still, I feel that pain. Why must a 20-year-old or 24-year-old have to earn? Why can't he just play? Why must he be under constant pressure to earn a salary, a living? And why must it be a disgrace to not to earn? Why must it be a disgrace?
Why am I not able to say to my daughter that, we'll provide for you, don't worry about it. Do whatever you have to. But somehow it doesn't come out.
I think it must come out. The closer you get to her, I think it will happen. There are these people of the foundation who live with me, work with me. And because they are often so very casual and inattentive, I keep getting angry. When nothing else works, I keep threatening them. When no other threat works, I say, what, you will not get your salary this month. And I actually mean it. The moment when I say you won't get any money, I mean it, because mathematically I really see that they don't deserve money. But when it comes to deducting, I do not know why it cannot happen. There again rises this question, why does anybody have to work to get this money? I mean, why can't this money just belong to somebody? Take it. Why do you have to prove that you are worthy of this money? All right, there are so many other things that you must be worthy of. You must be worthy of love, you must be worthy of attention, you must be worthy of courage. But money is something that you must get free. Nobody should have to crave for it or burn himself for it. I'm not talking of millions. I'm talking of basic sustenance money.
It's true.
At one point, now this will appear a little contradictory, but still I must say. At one point I used to be harshly critical of inheritance. That, one should not accept money from parents and all that, because all that leads to an internal corruption. You are getting something that you have not earned, that you do not deserve, and you will misuse it, and you will not know the value of it. But more and more I am coming to see what is the harm if you get some free money. It's good. Go ahead, play, enjoy life. Yeah. What is so very respectable and venerable about going and slogging in the workshop of some businessman? And what is so dishonorable about taking money from parents? How is it greatly honorable to go to a businessman and allow yourself to be exploited by him? Is that honorable? Is that extremely honorable? No, instead of that, if your mother wants to give you something, all right, we all know how mothers are. But still, probably they are better than the businessman. Rather take it from the mother. Instead of borrowing from a bank, borrow it from your father. It's all right. I don't know. I mean, this one thing that I'm not very sure of.
I think this concept of self-made is overrated.
This is an overrated thing because it is just ego. Self-made. What do you mean by self-made? If you're getting it, take it. You anyway keep losing without your consent, don't you? You anyway keep losing without your consent.
And it has been seen that the people who work not to earn or actually do great. They do it because they like to do it, and that turns out to something spectacular.
I think we all must go deeply into this thing called work. Why must work be such an important part of self-esteem?
Yeah.
Why must one's worth in life be decided by
Some businessman. True.
some businessman or by the rung of the ladder he is currently standing on?
So there's a famous dialogue by Amitabh Bachchan. Some goes for the work. He asks for the work from some person, and some person says, "मुझे ऐसे लोग चाहिए जो वफादार हों." And then he says, "वफादार चाहिए तो कुत्ते पालो, आदमी तो सोच समझ के काम करेगा." So I think this wafadari and this loyalty and this thing, I think it is overrated.
Exploitative.
Organizations are not loyal to employees, but employees have to be loyal to organization. Now, how does it work out? I don't know.
Why you need to do anything in that matter?
No, that's the question. Yes, obviously.
Okay.
Why does one need to do anything?
सारी प्रॉब्लम तो करने की
Need. Why does one need to do anything? Why can't just existence be there? Why must one supplement his existence with work? Why is just being not enough? Why is doing really needed? Doing is all right if it comes as a natural flow from the being. But doing that completes the being, it's beyond my comprehension. I do not quite see that. If we can have a world in which no kid is under the pressure of having to obtain a livelihood, it would be a beautiful world.
Yeah.
Beautiful world. And that will not really require immense prosperity. That will not require a great social security system. That will just require some wisdom. I still see that the earth has enough to offer to meet our basic needs. Most of the work that we undertake, professional work, does not serve to meet our needs. It only serves to... You are the one who was fond of collecting gadgets, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's what work results in.
Yeah.
A heap of gadgets.
Yeah. So they pay you to get an apartment, and then you pay apartment's EMI, and they pay you more, then you get a bigger car, and then you pay more. So there's always a debt, and then in order to clear that debt, you work like hell, and then at one day you burnt out, and still that debt is there. So what do? Then you commit suicide.
But you know what? To come to that world, a few people will work their asses off. Without that, we can't come to that world. So it means that still somebody's got to work.
So there is this thing, sir. We were born in a box. We live in a box. We go to office in a box. We work in a box. We come home in a box, and we want to think out of box.
Finally go away in the box.
And finally go in a box.
The world is not that bad actually.
Huh?
What we are talking about, the world is not that bad
No,
as
no,
far
no.
as work is concerned. It's not that where probably why we are only talking about kids, why we are not talking about any being actually at any point of time.
Because with kids, at least there is a possibility of remaining uncorrupted. With adults, just too much effort is needed to bring them back to their kid state. That is why when I started off 10 years back, I started off with school and college kids because they are not yet corrupted. It's easier to work with them. Working with 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds is close to impossible. They are neck deep in their indebtedness, in their investments. You cannot talk to them. They'll say, in fact, it happens. And it has come to me not less than 50 or 100 times. They'll say, if you want to say all this, why didn't you tell all this 20 years back? बताना था तो 20 साल पहले बताते भाई. अब आप बता रहे हो हम करें क्या? The same thing that you were saying yesterday. I understand all this, but what to do now? It's a very common dilemma. Now what to do? Even if I know that I'm stuck, how do I come out of the rut?
Yeah, true.
It's easiest with
It's
20-year-olds. It's also easy after you have crossed 60. In between, it remains quite difficult.
We are also 20.
Yeah. You know, after 50, your age starts moving in the reverse gear. So then you can reach 20. Around 70, you tend to reach 20.
Yeah, after like 88 kid.
So there is this beautiful thing my daughter used to do. So when she was very small, she right now is in third, so she is small. But when she was smaller, whenever she was painting or reading something, she was used to like in her own word, and she was used to mutter this voice, and then she was used to do this. And I told her my wife that never ever disturb her when she is doing that, and she was all attention, and she draws very well. Even the little one draws very well. So over a period of time, because I've told her never ever disturb her, over a period of time now she is 3. Whatever she reads, she remembers. She never forgets a single thing. She reads poem once and she remembers the entire poem. She sings so well. But the school killed her that because in the class she is doing and she's so teachers used to say, don't do this, don't do this.
They'll say, be silent.
Be silent. So I still miss that voice. I still miss that sound. And she was so much in concentration. It has broken somewhere. I don't know why do they do it? Why do they institutionalize the kids?
There was this player from which country? Yugoslavia, I think. Monica Seles.
Monica Seles, yeah.
Her
Yugoslavia.
career was Yugoslavia, right? Her career was cut short by some maniac who stabbed her.
Yeah.
And she used to grunt.
No.
I don't know what her game would have been without the grunt. I think it was very imperative for her to grunt. Now you cut off that guttural voice from her game and the game would collapse. So you never know what contribution that sound has in the process of painting.
Exactly. So I don't know, teachers don't realize it that every kid is individual. Every kid is unique. And they have some inherent quality. I don't know why do they want to kind of, everybody's same.
Not teacher, it's the system like that's
Yeah.
the thing.
We have also gone through that.
So it's just like that. You have different periods for different activities. So in the period for science, you won't be doing maths. When you're doing Hindi, then you won't be doing English. It's a compartmentalization. So when you are painting, obviously you cannot be singing. If you want to sing, then you have to go to the music class. This is the painting class. Here you will just paint. Nothing should come from here. This compartmentalization, this division of life, we keep on doing in everything.
It persists for a long time. I actually wept when it stopped, when she stopped it. I like it so much.
This world needs many, many, many free people. And the biggest possibility is the young ones. In fact, to some extent, that is the only possibility. Even the old ones have to become young. Otherwise, it's quite an ugly world as it is. We need people who are free to express themselves, free to weep, laugh, kiss, kick, everything. We have just too much compartmentalization, orderliness, just too much of that. Just too much of that.
The
Mechanical,
sanitization.
total mechanical.
Totally mechanical. And so much of that happens in the name of love. Because the parents profess that they love the kid. So they strangulate the kid. And well, probably because I didn't bear a child myself. So I see it more clearly all around me. It's pathetic, the way kids are being raised.
True.
And it's not as if the parents have vile intentions. The intentions, at least the conscious intention, is always good. But all are trapped in the same thing. In the same mouse trap, there is the mother mouse, the father mouse, and the baby mouse. Whom to blame? That's why I said, first of all, please see that all of us are in it jointly, together. As a family, all of us are in it. It's not as if the daughter alone is running the race.
It's the same thing as that day you were saying that because the mind gets corrupted, because we feel that is important, and then
Yes.
it gets corrupted. Otherwise, we will not allow it to.
Yes.
It's the same.
Yes. In fact, being a parent today is such a wonderful, it's a humongous opportunity. You can almost play God as a parent. You have the opportunity to give rise to a new world. If you can really take care of one girl as a free girl, then you have done your bit. Your life is done. That's what is destiny. You're already there. You have done that much. Funnily, doing that will require a lot of non-doing. That will require that you keep an arm's distance from the life of the girl. So you prevent yourself from doing a lot that you are tempted to do as a parent. Oh, I am a responsible father, I must interfere. Who are you going out with? Please refrain. What will happen to your career? Painting, you think you'll ever earn anything? A lot of non-doing is required. That gives us a good definition of God, the ultimate non-doer. Please be very compassionate, very close to your kids. That is your chance at redeeming yourself.
नॉर्मली जो है ही नहीं वो हम देंगे कैसे, उसके लिए पहले खुद को
इसलिए तो कह रहे हैं नॉन डूइंग मत करिए, क्योंकि आप दोगे तो गड़बड़ ही दे दोगे. नॉन डूइंग. Be like an observer, like a compassionate witness. Keep watching, but from a distance. Meddling is not needed.
तो हमें देने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, हमें जानने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है क्या देना है. It means
वो ज़रूरत इसलिए है क्योंकि आपके अलावा बहुत सारे प्रभाव हैं जो उनके जीवन में घुसना शुरू करेंगे. अब आप तो हट गए और आपकी जगह और लोग घुस आए तो इसलिए देखते रहना ज़रूरी है कि चल क्या रहा है, क्योंकि दुनिया ऐसी है कि वो रिक्तता छोड़ती नहीं. आप तो हट जाओगे कि मुझे नहीं होना चाहिए, बात आज़ादी की है, और टीवी घुस आया तो, और दोस्त यार घुस आए तो वहाँ थोड़ा सा देखते रहना ज़रूरी होता है.
हमने सर for the 10-12 years we don't have a TV. So that way, that's a beautiful part of the life. So when my little one goes to her grandparents' house, she is like watching TV the entire day. So many a time she has told grandparents, pursue, convince the parents to get the TV.
Even all these things. Did you just hear the school bell ringing?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
over there.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
it.
it's downstairs.
These come as shocks upon the little sensitive mind. These come as shocks. You are absorbed in something, and then there is this tan 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 tan. It's like somebody beating up your mind. Stop, 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 stop. Not something else, something else, something else. This is not the way nature operates. In nature, there is always a smooth, seamless flow. And this is a crude, sudden division of time. Suddenly time is divided. 1 minute before 10 a.m. it was geography, and 1 minute after 10 a.m. it is mathematics.
Okay.
Do you see what kind of an abrupt division is this?
You can't reconcile.
Cannot be reconciled, and it comes as a total shock to the sensitive mind of the child.
Yeah, it is. Actually, sir, Osho once said that when the baby takes birth, what happens is in the hospital there is so much light. It should be dimmed to a minimum extent.
Yes, of course.
And the baby comes out so that he is not shocked.
And that is commonsensical. In the womb there is no light. Now why are you suddenly irradiating the face of the child and giving him so much of noise also?